stove.
Okay,
Hi guys, I'm Danielle.
so I'm Ren. I'm the Papa.
Hi guys, and welcome.
You stove.
Hey guys, and welcome back to welcome to the Lucky Stove. And yeah.
Just stop.
Come on, friends.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Lucky Stove. I'm Danielle, and today we are going to be making sweet as honey paleo keto bread rolls. They are awesome and they are gluten-free, and I have been working on getting gluten out of my diet. I'm not talking about regular gluten that you probably have said, oh, how dare you eat gluten. I'm talking about that vital wheat gluten. Haha. And you can put it in the comments whether or not you think vital wheat gluten and gluten are the same. Because I've searched it. I've even wrote a blog post. I've also written a blog post about it. And I can't find anything that differentiates the two. So if you can find something that's different, please let me know in the comments. Please let me know where I can find it. Resources. Hey, share your resources, guys. I mean, aren't we doing this together? Okay, so we're going to make sweet as honey. Her name is Carine. Jean-Pierre. Don't quote me on that. I'll put it down here. It's right here. Her name and the website and where you can find it. And then I'll also put it in the description down below. So make sure you look in the description. It'll be in a link. We're going to get started with this gluten-free bread, and I'm trying to, like I said, decrease my gluten intake and the families as well, because I remember when I first started keto, guys, and gluten was not any part of the diet at all. Do you know that I stopped having gas? And then for some reason, somehow down the line, when I was introduced to the Keto King's bread, which was my lifesaver, that had vital wheat gluten in it, and I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back, my gas came back, and with a vengeance. Okay, guys, so I have the ingredients here, and I'm sorry you're gonna get some bad lighting because the sun is really shining, and I need to show you the ingredients. So we have Psyllium husk phasels. This is Psyllium husk phasels. This is actually flakes, if you can see that. I'll do it like this. See, I don't know what they consider whole and what's not whole. It just says fibers. That's all I know. Okay, but she said to use whole psyllium husks. So just to let you know, that's what she said to do. I'm not trying to steer you wrong. This is just what I have, and this is what I found, and I'm not going to go look for anything else because I found it and it worked. Secondarily, you need fine almond flour. I get mine from the Noten shop. No, not sponsored. Should be. And I get a kilo of it. That's 1,000 grams or 2 pounds for. I'm a word. I get it for $10.95, and that's not a sale price. This is extra fine. This is really good stuff. I love it. You see, I think I've showed it to you guys before, and so we'll move right along. You need baking soda, not powder, but baking soda. Okay? You need coconut flour. Coconut flour is the boss. The main ingredient, the main flour ingredient is coconut flour. Make sure you check the back of your label and make sure that you know how many carbs are in your coconut flour. This coconut flour per 100 grams is 57 grams of carbs. I'm just saying, and only 8.9 of it is fiber. So, you mind your own macros, I'll mind my own macros. Renee, who's jumped on the keto diet, will mind his own macros, and now Lydia will tell us if we're wrong. So, there's that. We need apple cider vinegar. There we go. She said olive oil, but I ran out of olive oil, and that's just the fact of it. So, I have coconut oil here. I'm just going to melt it down. The last thing, besides salt, is 420 milliliters of water. And if you don't like milliliters and grams and whatnot, you can click on her metrics / grams button, and they'll change it to volume standards, whatnot, or cups. Okay, and then I add. Okay, she doesn't have this in there. You don't have to do it, but I like the flavor that it's supposed to give. Maybe it's all in my head, but it tastes like it's there. I add yeast for more of a yeasty flavor. And on a completely different subject, I have to tell you about my Under the Sea smoothie that I made public on Carb Manager. It's the Lucky Stove Under the Sea smoothie. And it's whey protein powder, it's spirulina. I put it in my blender that I got for my birthday, if you remember that. Man, you guys, I let it sit because I had to go work and get everything taken care of. And even though it was not super cold, it was delicious. It was super delicious. It had like such a great flavor. So listening to a podcast with Leanne, I believe, Leanne Vogel. She had someone on there who mentioned that we should be consuming spirulina or blue algae. And so I said, well, I'll give it a try. Algae. So that's why I call it Under the Sea. That's just a side note. Check it out on Carb Manager if you want to try it. I think it's delicious. I use the whey protein is vanilla flavored. So all those together made for something really spectacular. Alright guys, so we're going to start with the coconut flour. Coconut flour. That's 120 grams. So in that goes. I'll try to be careful as I get closer, but you know how I do. I always go over. See? Oh my word, 122. That's alright, I'm putting it back. When you're on a budget, this is a good meal too. Just saying. Because you don't have to worry about the vital wheat gluten. You probably already have psyllium husk. Probably. If you don't, it's definitely not as cheap as the vital wheat gluten from the Notes and Schultz, but I just deal with that. Okay, so now we're gonna add almond flour. I'm watching my phone to reconfirm everything. So now we're gonna add the almond flour, and that's 60 grams. So that'll make it 180. She says no lumps. Watch out for the. Oh, look at me! I'm over here talking to y'all. I'm distracted. I'm already at 192. It's supposed to be 180. She says for the dough. Specifically, she says for the coconut flour to no lumps. So I would go as far as to say to sift it, you guys. And I have. The first time I sifted it. This time you see I didn't, and the second time I didn't either. So this is my third time making this, and I really enjoy this recipe. Baking soda, 2 teaspoons. I don't have a number. I don't know where my teaspoon is, guys. So I'm gonna be counting. 2. All right, that's 2 teaspoons. And for the salt, I like a teaspoon. You do what you want to do. I like a teaspoon. So that's half and 1. My water is kind of getting cold, so if you wonder why I'm kind of going faster, that's why. I just wanted to have everything already ready. Baking soda, flour. Okay, now we're gonna add. I'm going to add yeast for the flavor because keto baked goods keto breads are notorious for not having a bread flavor, and I'm not about that life. If I'm going to eat bread, I want it to taste like the bread that I know and love. So I usually just sprinkle like 7, but you can check the Carb Manager. But I would go 7 grams, 7 to 10 grams. That's usually what's in a packet. So 7. I'll go 10. I'm gonna give it a mix really quick. And did I use psyllium husk already? No, I did not. Check me out. All right, now the psyllium husk powder. That's 20 grams. Oh no, I came up short. That's okay. I went and bought more. See? I knew it! Okay, now 30 grams I'm gonna mix this all together first. 30 grams of liquid non-inflammatory oil. You will see on her website that she says vegetable oil. Ignore, ignore, ignore. Ignore. Unless it's avocado and that's a fruit. Or you could try walnut oil, but I doubt it very much. Because it's probably slightly inflammatory also. Best on salads. Best on salads, y'all. But, So, coconut oil is the best. Otherwise, avocado oil. You can use olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil is going to give you a very strong flavor. So, unless you want that, I don't, then use regular olive oil. But in a dark bottle, and make sure it's processed properly. Okay? So, we need 30 grams, 30 milliliters of oil. Here's my coconut oil all melted. So here we go. I don't care if I go around the fat, to be honest, you guys. I don't. But for the purpose of this video, I want to make sure I get it. There we go. Of course. And I can't pull that out. So can't pull that out. Now, 420 milliliters water. Nope. 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar first. Okay, so this is a halfer. So I'm almost out, so I need to buy some more. Half. 1. Half. 2. It seems like apple cider vinegar is the magic ingredient. She also says you can use white vinegar, I believe, but I would say, or lemon juice rather. She also says you can use lemon juice. I believe it's all about the acid activating the baking soda. That's what all that is. Okay. Now 420 milliliters water. You put it on mode milliliters. Zero it out. Tare. All right, here we go. I actually have it measured out for 420, but just in case, I have some more water in reserve. Look at that, bubbles. Bubbles, oh my goodness. Oh my word, I was looking at the bubbles and I was not looking at the amount of the scale. So we're at 434. She says to use a spoon to start, and I agree, especially because you do need to use hot water. So use a spoon to start, and then you can get in there with your hands. She has some rest moments, so you can follow that. You rest, you let it rest for 10 minutes or so, and then blah, 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 and then you let it rest. But it's a no-rise dough, so I know I put yeast in here, but it doesn't matter because it's not like we're like waiting an hour and a half or whatever for it to rise, 40, 45 minutes. It makes no difference. This, she suggests 6 rolls out of these. You can make bigger rolls, but I have to agree with her. It's quite filling. One of these rolls are quite filling. The whole family says so, yeah? The whole family said it was quite filling. So, now, I'm going to get in with my hands. I'm going to show you that really quick. I'm pretty sure you know what squishy looks like. Alright, so we're squishing. It's hot. It is hot. If you're going to use hot water from a tea kettle, guess what? It's going to be hot. But it is what it is, right? You can easily use hot water from your sink. That's what she said. She didn't say that, but she said hot water. She didn't say boiling. So I just did this because my hot water that I had previously had gotten lukewarm, and I didn't want to waste it, so I just put it in the tea kettle. So this is all you're doing. You're mushing. And she actually has an action video on her recipe page with it showing you how to do it. So it's pretty cool. So once you've got this all mushed, she says the weight. The first time I didn't pay attention to that because I'm not good for following directions. As you probably know by now, I like to do my own thing a lot. So after I mushed it as good as I could, and I saw that it packed into a ball. You see how this packs into a ball? I weighed it out, and then I did the math, and I divided it by 6, and then I made 6 equal portions. So I'm gonna weigh this out, and I'll be right back. And we'll get started with the balls because I'm not weighing. All right, so we have a parchment piece. Peter Piper picked a pickle peppers. We have a piece of parchment paper on the scale, as you can see. It's at 684, so we just need to do the math and divide it by 6, and then we'll get the amount that we need. You can probably do less, but I made double a portion yesterday, I think, the day before yesterday, and check me out. I made double portion, and the buns were no problem. It was the other things I made. Like I tried to make hot dog buns, and I was like, okay, that's not working. So I tried to make a pistolette, and that didn't work. And then I also, I used half of the dough for the buns. I used the other half for the other things I was trying to do. So I tried to make bagels. They look all right, but I used six. I divided the portion. Oh my word! I divided the portion by 12, the other half, so I could make several different things. I wanted to make a hot dog, but I wanted to make a hot dog bun, and I wanted to try to make bagels. And the hot dog buns didn't look like they were gonna work out, so I tried to make pistolettes, and that didn't work out either. So these are just here for looks. Now we'll probably hang them on the tree for Christmas. Somebody asked me if I made onion rings. So we're gonna try and make a hot dog bun. I know that's not a normal hot dog bun in America, or probably anywhere else, but this is like oversized for the Netherlands, so we'll just go with that. Okay, I'm gonna wet my hands. I'm gonna try to make it a little bit smooth, just so I can feel like it's a hot dog bun a little bit. And then we're gonna get the rest of them on the pan. The oven is preheated at 200 degrees. That's what she says, 200 Celsius. If you want to know what it is Fahrenheit, look at her website, because I don't remember, and I'm not gonna look it up, even though it's easy. It's like, hey Google. But I'm not gonna, because you can go to her website and figure that part out for yourself. And if you want to know the macros, go to her website, so that way you can see what it is. If you use the thing that she uses, then you will have a reasonable scale of what the macros are supposed to be. Don't forget, and the reason I say this is, the ingredients that you buy always have different macro counts than the things that other people buy, unless you're ordering from their store or their links. And then it's more reasonable to say that it'll be the same. But hey, who knows? You might accidentally add extra psyllium powder or coconut oil or olive oil, not vegetable oil. Mama said. I've wet my hand and I'm rubbing it to make it kind of smooth, so that way it can be smooth like a normal hot dog bun. They don't rise much. Actually, I feel like that's too big now that I think about it, because they don't rise much. She says to actually press them down a little bit. So I just messed up my smooth. How rude. So this is the hot dog. I will show you when I'm done with the hamburgers. The hamburgers are just a round piece of dough that you smash down, she says. Do not forget to smash them down. She says that, I mean it. Okay, so here's the last one. I balled it up, rolled it into a ball, and you know what, funny enough, the air is kind of dry, because I can feel it in the dough. If your air is dry, then you'll feel it in your dough. Because you remember, I accidentally put too much water, and it's like kind of making me struggle a little bit. I'm shaping these so that way they can be the size of the burgers. If we choose to make burgers, we might just have sandwiches. Yeah, a ham and cheese sandwich, grilled. Perfect. Yep, sounds like a good lunch. All right, so this is all set. If there's cracks, fix them up, mend them up, get some water, and just mend them together. Or you can be like me and not care. But you do want to make it the size of whatever your meat is. Like if you have pre-made hamburger patty, shame on you, dirty keto. Just kidding. If you have pre-pressed burgers, then you can kind of get an adjustment. What I'm doing mostly is like trying to make sure that they are the same shape as the others. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven. It bakes for 30 minutes, actually a little less than 30 minutes for my oven, because the convection oven has a fan. You guys remember how that goes. Convection ovens cook faster. And we'll be back once it's done. All right? All right. Hello, my lovelies. Oh, the hot dog one turned out looking pretty all right. And smoother because I put water over it. Okay. Smell delicious. All right, guys, that's it. We have these wonderful, delicious buns here. And I'm excited to try them, but they do need to cool completely. So you can see the picture of these buns on Instagram at the Lucky Stove. Instagram. Otherwise, check out this picture right here where you can see how we grilled it up. And how exciting is that, right? What was it? Ham and cheese. A grilled ham and cheese on a really wonderful textured bread. How can you go wrong? And gluten-free? Come on. Come on. So, that's it for us. We thank you so much for joining us here at the Lucky Stove. We really hope that your stove brings you luck or a coupon. And we'll have to see you next time. These things are on fire. I mean, not literally, but...
Okay, guys, don't forget to comment down below. Guys?